Hey, everyone. It's 2:01. I was trying to hang up the phone so I could log on and see all of you wonderful people. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. I'm going to give everybody one more minute just in case we're having some trouble logging in. Let's see. Oh, Rima had to be first today, first in class. You get extra credit, Rima. Rima, Kaylee. Hey, Brenda and JB. What's up, Jules? How's it going? Hopefully well. Uh, April and April. April times two. Hello. Hey, Sarah. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday on what is another short week. And we're going to talk about that. I sent a couple emails out. Who's on? Liz, Brenda Gruber, Ashley. Hey, Ashley, Emily, Mary, Miss Deb, Hoadley, Jocelyn, Nick S, Charlene S. Actually, I think there's two Charlene. No, that's Charlene G. Denise, Naomi. Hey, guys. Oh, it's a full moon tonight, is it? Interesting. That means if I'm acting all kinds of crazy, it will be acceptable. It'll be acceptable. I don't have sundowners or anything, but I think full moons make us all a little crazy. Yeah, just a tad crazy, especially during rolling into a new year. So I'm glad everybody is on. So we're going to jump right in. I have a bunch of announcements. I have some information. I have some things about COVID-19, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask questions, get clarity on some things, because there seems to be a little bit of confusion still for some of us. Okay, let's begin. COVID-19, the numbers are going up. I just received a report last night, and the report listed Northampton County at almost 18%. That is really high, and that number continues to rise. Lehigh County, last I saw, was slightly above Northampton County. So with that in mind, we have to be mindful and be careful, because everywhere you go there is COVID, and I'm gonna stoke the flames a little bit. I'm inflame. How do you say it? Fan the flame. There are actually two additional mutated strains of COVID-19 that are also going around. They have not hit the U.S. yet, but they're saying that it will at some point. So what I need you to do, so what I need you to do is to be mindful and be diligent, and be prepared. So we are still working on procuring the vaccine. The pharmacies we work with, they're working diligently with us. Actually, Ashley just forwarded me an email, I think yesterday, about where we are and what's happening. We're close, but not that close. What we're asking everyone to do is to maintain all of the health and safety standards. Wear your mask, wash your hands. Oh, I was about to say, and brush your teeth. I felt like I was home just now. Brush your teeth too. But wear your mask, wash your hands. That is the line in my house all the time. Brush your teeth, get your mask, wash your hands, let's go. And in reverse order when we get home. So I hope you are brushing your teeth. But anyway, wash your hands. Wash your hands, wear your mask. Wash your hands, wear your mask. Wash your hands, wear your mask. Washing your hands is better than using hand sanitizer. So let's get to us and New Year's Eve. I forwarded an email to all the professional staff members with guidelines from the CDC and Department of Health for New Year's Eve celebrations. What they are encouraging is, if you are planning on being around people for New Year's Eve, and it's going to be more than 10 people or people other than those that you live with, they are recommending that you have your function outdoors. That does not mean you go to New York to watch the ball drop. That's not what that means. What they're suggesting is that if you're going to be around people, especially large gatherings, have it outside, be outside. They're also suggesting that if you're going to be around people that do not live in your house, you should be spatially distanced 6 feet. And that spatial distance goes from your head to the other person's head, is what it actually is. It's not your body or your chair and their chair. It's actually your head to their head is how the 6 feet works. They're also recommending, if you're hosting something, use disposable everything so that you're not touching anyone's saliva. Their moist saliva, so that you're not touching it. We don't want anyone getting sick just by being sanitary. So we are asking that you, if you're hosting, take those precautions. If you're like me, I will be home and on my email. And when the changeover happens, I'm looking at the comments. When the change happens for the new year, what we will do is I'll say Happy New Year and then I'll go to sleep. Thank you, Rima. So with this in mind, holidays are not a reason for a call out, just like inclement weather. It's not. If you are scheduled, I expect you to be at work. I'm working, I expect you to work. I was talking to a staff the other day and they said, well, when are you ever off? And they said, I think you and Miss Vicky work all the time. We do. I work 6.5 days a week. I normally do a little bit of work on Sunday too. It's what happens. Okay, so that's the COVID-19 update. If you are on shift and the consumer you're working with wants to stay awake, that is great. Stay awake. If you want to celebrate and bake some cookies, like some sparkling cider and such, I think that's okay as well, as long as you are doing things safely and in moderation. All right. Any questions on COVID-19? I have 3 other things that I need to, actually 2 other things I need to talk about. We talked about COVID-19. We talked about New Year's Eve. Are there any questions on either of those 2 things or the recommendations for them? I'm reading the comments. Ashley, I agree with you. I wouldn't go to New York in a non-COVID year either, because once you get in that area where the ball drops, you can't even leave to go to the bathroom. So there have been reports of people who wear adult undergarments, briefs, so that they can relieve themselves at the appropriate time. I don't know if that's true or not. There's nothing wrong with wearing briefs. I just would rather not wear one around, I don't know, 20,000 people or whatever it is, 10,000 people, whatever it is. New Year's is overrated, just come to work. I'll be working. I don't know what the vomit faces are about. No call outs. Yes, there will not be any call outs. Oh, sparkling cider and Kindle for all houses. Yay! Kindle will make sure we have sparkling cider. Kindle, can you also get some of those fancy plastic, what is it called? The fancy plastic. It's not a flute. It's a what you drink champagne out of. I can't think of words today. Words are escaping me. Is it a flute? A flute is shaped differently than what I'm thinking of. There are flutes, but I'm not thinking of a flute though. It has a different name. But yeah, it's stemware. It's glass, but it's plastic. Maybe it is a champagne flute. Okay, so Kendall, can you get some flutes too? That'll be wonderful. And what you actually could do is do a virtual party, guys. Someone in the residential program should work in coordinating that, and you all can all watch the ball drop together. You can toast each other virtually. I think it may be a great idea. All right, any other COVID questions before I move on? I played my drum for him. Bum, 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 bum. Who's hosting the party? That's a good question. I don't see any volunteers. We can gladly appoint someone. Let me know. I'll create them. Awesome. Charlene can create the invite. Thanks, Charlene. Who can help us coordinate? Alicia Julian, how you sending out emails and we're on live stream? I just got your email, just popped up. All right, since there's no more questions about COVID and New Year's Eve, we're going to keep going. Let's talk about your team meetings. Each department that you do your team meetings a little bit different. Team meetings are mandatory. So for example, if you are in the outpatient clinic, you all as of right now are meeting at 9 a.m. daily. And that's important. Team meetings are mandatory. If you're residential, your meetings happen, they're scheduled, they're all virtual. Those meetings are mandatory because many times there is a training component to them that's critical for you and for training records. Robert, I go to bed at 8:30, so count me out. So do I, Robert. I like to go to bed at 8:30. I just don't. Team meetings. So if you are a member of the professional staff, you know that we meet every other week. If you are a director or a department leader, you know that we meet on the off week. Meetings are not optional. They are mandatory. That's the time where we figure out when we communicate, and hopefully we're communicating openly and honestly. Each of you should be having supervision with your supervisor. You should be sitting down and having a formal sit-down session with your supervisor, going over things in your respective departments. So please, as we go into the next year, that's one of our goals, is to ensure that everyone is participating in meetings so that we know that you're properly trained and you are well-versed in the happenings of your individual department. Any questions on team meetings? I'm not frozen. I'm just waiting patiently. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet? All right. So the last is professional development. During the first in January, a series of emails will come out. We will be hosting a virtual leadership summit conference for all of our employees. There's some things that will be mandatory for professional staff. There are other things that it will be open to the entire company. So if you are a budding leader, thank you, Sarah, for the random singing. I sing all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Singing is good for the soul. As long as you're not saying anything too crazy. Anyway, maybe a little crazy. So you'll be getting a series of emails. There'll be an itinerary for the week. It'll probably be the second or third week of January, probably the third week of January. We're going to clear out all of the professional schedules. I will send out an itinerary with when the sessions are going to be. If you are a young professional and you may not be a member of the professional staff right now, that means you're not a team leader, a director, a program manager, an assistant director, a behavioral specialist. If you're not one of those people, but you desire to be one of those people and to do more, this is your opportunity to voluntarily participate in events and sessions that'll get you thinking differently, creatively, that will help you cultivate your ability to lead, your ability to follow, which is equally as important as leading. If you can't follow, you can't lead well. And so that'll be happening. So I like everyone to look out for those emails. Vicki, Miss Deb and I, just the opening session we've developed together, and I think it's brilliant. The opening session, everyone will be invited to, but there's tons of open positions at LVAS, and we'd like you to step up to the plate. Some of you have applied for positions and you've been denied them because you needed more experience and you've needed more education and you've needed more understanding, you've needed more time. This is the way to get that. My eyebrows look really nice, guys, today. I'm just looking at them. This is going to throw that out there. Sometimes you have to look at yourself and say, oh, man, I look good today. This is a good day. Anyway, you're going to get emails for all of this stuff. And we want you to participate. So if you have any questions as they come out, the sessions that are open to everyone, it will say it's open to everyone. Those that are mandatory and those breakout sessions that'll be mandatory. I feel younger, maybe because the new year's upon us. Maybe that's what it is. I feel a little bit younger. I bought some stuff that I'm way off topic. I bought some stuff that Gondon and I were talking about. I've been spraying it on my face. I said, oh, I'm going to get rid of my white hairs this year. I've got white hair growing everywhere. I'm going to get rid of them, and I'm going to get rid of my wrinkles up here. Yeah. I did not get them threaded, but I did get them shaped. I didn't know the lady was doing it. She was cutting my hair. She said, "Oh, you got a little unibrow right here. Let me just get that right there." And she did. And I looked up, I was like, oh, I now have two eyebrows. It was wonderful. Okay, so really back to the topic at hand. I'm all over the place. Professional development, it is really important. And I just taught you all something professionally without you knowing it. And I'll explain it in a minute. Look out for those emails. We want you to participate. We want you to. One of the things I just did with all of you was make myself personable. I shared just enough information without revealing too much to make myself relatable and make myself approachable. And the point of that is, if you're a leader, this is one of the things we're going to talk about. Being a leader doesn't mean you walk around dictating things. You have to be approachable. You have to be kind of liked, and you have to be able to think clearly and to see things from others' perspective. You have to be relatable. And that little tiny comments we had about my eyebrows, I revealed something personal that everyone knew. Everyone knew I had a unibrow. You can clearly see it. It's not a secret. And everyone could clearly see that how I feel about me. So we're going to talk about even simple things like that, how to be relatable, how to be approachable, how to convey your message without sounding confusing yourself and confusing those that you want to follow you, how to be a good follower. Those are some of the things. Thank you, Gondon. That's why you're here on board the ship. Being appropriately vulnerable. Wonderful. How to be appropriately vulnerable. It's things like that that we're going to talk about. You don't need to know how much I weigh. You don't need to know my income. You don't need to know where my sweater is from. It's from Old Navy. The bands are a little bit high. I think they should be down here, but they're up here. See what I mean? Doesn't look right. But appropriately vulnerable. Appropriately vulnerable. That means being vulnerable, Kendall, enough that you appear to be relatable and you are approachable without crossing boundaries and lines. Right now, many of us here are not appropriate in the things we share, and many of us are not appropriate because we do more gossiping and chit-chatting than we do being approachable and vulnerable about ourselves. We tend to like to take the mirror that we should be reflecting in and to turn it outwards and to show people themselves instead of looking at ourselves. That's kind of what it means, Kendall. Well, Charlene asked, that's just a bold-faced lie. She said, I tell people my favorite food is pizza, even though it's not. Well, maybe it's the crust, but you can share with us your favorite food if you like. So that's the point of the professional meeting. So here's the positions we have open that I would like you all to understand why we're doing this. Everyone at LVAS has the potential for greatness. We were on a finance call this morning about the future of the company and the things we're doing, the places we're headed. We still have three more programs to open. There's always room at the table for everyone. And you have the ability to rise to the occasion. Naomi is a really good example. Naomi has worked hard to be in the position that she's in. And I'm not going to get into her past career, but it's very different than what she does now. And she's worked very hard to get to where she's at. A lot of classes, a lot of education, but she's worked hard to get here. So with all that said, look out for those emails. There are team lead positions, program manager positions. There's assistant directors available. There are directorships available. There's a nurse position available. There are probably right now 10 to 15 positions that are leadership and professional staff positions that you can apply for. I think it will behoove you to learn. We're not going to force you. This is optional for most of you, mandatory for others, but that's where we're at. Well, we love you, LVAS. Are there any questions? Oh, you should feel appreciated, Naomi. You drive me insane, but I appreciate you so much. Sometimes I don't understand you and you confuse me, but at the end of the day, you have been wonderful. You've been an exemplary employee, even when you're wrong and I chew you out. You take the chewing out very well and you get better. And I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. Kendall, what kind of pass you got? What kind of stuff Naomi doing? Oh, the RN position's closed. Yes. Wait, before I say that, Miss Deb and Gondon, I'm assuming both of you were on the same page today. So we can talk about that in a minute. Can you be a team lead and work overnight? Okay, so here's one of the things we have talked about for some time. I did not build it into this year's budget coming up, but it's worth a conversation. We've talked about hiring an overnight supervisor. Why? We have residentially 15 homes, whatever it is. We know that those of you who work the overnight, I know you're sleeping. I know you're sleeping because the condition of my houses are in horrendous shape. When I walk in and there's dust on the ceiling fan or on the vents in the bathroom, or I lift up the toilet seat and there's, what's the word? There is matter from someone's menstrual cycle underneath the toilet seat. That tells me no one has cleaned that house. When there's urine on the floor and there are no men working in that house, I know. It's not feces, sir. It's red in nature. It's red in nature. That tells me that you are not actually cleaning. So what we have talked about for quite some time, for example, is having, Fran, you want to come back? So we've talked about forever is having an overnight supervisor that would go house to house in the evening to make sure people are awake, people are cleaning, people are prepping dinner for the next day. Wouldn't it be great to come in and the chicken is already seasoned for dinner? It'd be wonderful. So that is a possibility, yes. If you're interested, apply for it. If it's a position that you think we should have that doesn't exist, guess what? Send an email. Every position that currently exists here, Vicki and I have created. If you think we should have a professional floor sweeper and you're the best floor sweeper there is, say something. All right. Can we just say thank you for the year? It might not have been the best, but we have a job in our health and our clients. You know what? I agree with you, Rima. It has been an interesting and an odd year, and I am excited to end my year with you all. You all have become, everybody has those family members that when you see them initially, like, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. And then 5 minutes into a conversation, you're like, oh God, I got to hang the phone up. I'm an unemotional person, so that's probably why I feel that way. But I have family members I haven't seen in years. I'm talking about probably 5, 6, 7 years. I'm excited when I first see them in 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, we've had enough of each other. I don't feel that way about you all, even though sometimes I drive you crazy. But we should have an attitude of gratitude. DF is the best floor sweeper. Yes, you're right. Okay, I have said a lot. Are there any questions? Any questions? Ooh, even my eyelashes look nice today. See how long they look? Look at that. Look at that. What do I hope for in 2021? Okay, Sarah, you keep asking me this, and I keep avoiding that question, Sarah. My greatest prayer, my greatest hope, my greatest wish, my greatest belief, my greatest desire for 2021 is for all of my children to be healthy. That's what I want. I really, I was talking to someone yesterday and today and just said, that's my greatest hope is for my kids, all 4 of them to be healthy and to be mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically healthy. That is what I want. Because that's one less thing for me to stress about. I worry about my kids all the time. I am not a stressor. I have never stressed, really. If I'm stressing, it's bad. If I am stressed out, that means everybody should be stressed because the building's on fire, something is wrong. I don't stress out about a lot, but those little people, they are the ones I actually stress out about everything. I left, I'll give you a quick story. I left home yesterday. I decided I'm going to get some workout equipment. I'm gonna have a pool body. I'm gonna have a pool. I don't want a dad body. I got 4 kids. I want to have a pool body by the time June gets here. So I'm going to buy some weights. I'm going to go out. My kids set the alarm off in the house. All I hear is them literally screaming and running. My son is like, I told you guys, go upstairs in an orderly way, go in the closet, it'll be fine. I've got it. He is yelling and commanding and telling them what to do. I ran back home, turned the alarm off, and he was just so upset. He said, Dad, I told him what to do. They just don't listen, Dad. And they're all stressed out. And I said, guys, it's fine. It's just an alarm. Nobody was breaking in. You're okay. But that for me was stressful because they were stressed. So long story short, that is my hope for next year is if my kids are well, I am well. There's a hymn, this is for you, Sarah. There's a hymn that goes, whatever my lot, you have taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Meaning whatever happens in life, whatever's my portion, I have agreed to say that it's okay. It's okay. I've been talking nonstop. Maybe I'm just in a good mood. I don't know. All right. Is there anything? Thank you for LVAS and for a great year, even if it was a challenge. Cheers to an even better 2021. Oh, 2021 is going to be phenomenal. I'm excited. I'm excited for us. I'm excited about our future. I'm excited about your future. Actually, I was thinking about Thomas and Shantae. I saw you both are on here, somewhere on here. I was even thinking about Thomas, and Shantae. And Thomas, you haven't been here a full year yet. But let me tell you something. It was a little rocky at the beginning, but you have slid right in there, Thomas, and you have been a phenomenal worker. I can't imagine what y'all conversations are like. Because it's stressful probably for both of you working in this field. But you all have been wonderful. I'm excited about our future, guys. I'm excited about where we're going. And my hope is that we all keep going together. I'm going to make you mad. That's what I do best. But not what I do best. I make you mad to get results and to make you better. But we're going to do this. I'm excited about our future. Okay, we're done. We've been on here forever. Heather Keller is on, not to be confused with Helen Keller. Yes, Miss Deb, I was just thinking about them the other day. Thomas was on a staff meeting and someone said something that wasn't correct. Thomas put his hand up and said, no, that wasn't me. I wasn't there. I followed my schedule. We appreciate it. Yeah, Mary, you're another good one. Mary, I'm just realizing you haven't been here a year and got promoted already, Mary. And you are doing a phenomenal job, Mary. Phenomenal job. Phenomenal. Great job. Okay, with that said, I have rambled on for 28 minutes. Those of you who know me know I can get up and talk about anything. So I'm going to stop talking now. It will be a year for you in March, Sarah. Yes, it will be. I think you are the longest serving person in integrative clinical services. Way to go, Sarah. Air high five. Okay, thank you all very much. Vicki is giving me my cue. I will take my leave. Thank you all very much. We love you. Happy New Year. Next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Yes, next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I am hoping we will have an update on whether or not the restrictions will be lifted and where the numbers sit with COVID. So I will have an update on what the state is planning, where we're going with CPS. I'll have an update on our VA program, on the outpatient clinics, hopefully signed contract by that point. There are tons of things that I should have updates on for you for next week. And I'll have the dates and the final itinerary for our virtual leadership summit. All right. We love you all. Happy New Year.